Good evening, everybody. Welcome back to another CRN broadcast here tonight. We are here with the National Sim Racing Retro Cup Series Gen 4 action at the 2008 or 2011 Daytona. That could only mean one thing. It's going to be super bumpy, a lot of high speeds, not much else with the forgiveness of these race cars. And on top of it, it's going to be open setups. That's right. These guys aren't running the normal fixed setups that iRacing gives you. These guys are going to be out here running what they built themselves. And it's all going to be a great race here tonight. After watching these guys practice, you're going to see 2 wide, you're going to see 3 wide, you're going to see some moves that kind of look easy, but are not easy at all. But nonetheless, before we get into the racing adventure, we're going to go ahead and let you guys know a little bit about the track, see how big it is, the air temp, track temp, and the wind. So you're looking at about a 2.48 mile track. It is a super speedway. That is Daytona International Speedway. Air temp is going to be 74. Track temp will cool 81 degrees with 8-mile-an-hour winds. It is partly cloudy, so that's going to be something else to note here tonight. So you're going to see a lot more faster speeds throughout the whole field, and it's always going to be something fun to do. But while these guys are out here for their practice, I don't believe they do any qualifying here tonight, so they're going to go straight from practice into the starting grid for a 70-lap race. So they're going to, it's just the Budweiser Shootout, like how they used to do back in the good old days. Segment 1 is going to consist of 20 laps. Segment 2 is going to consist of 30 laps, and they're going to have another 20-lap dash to the finish as these guys are getting ready to finish up their practice. As of right now, going to get these guys loaded up and gridded. And most of these guys in here I know personally. I've ran with them pretty much since PS3 days on NASCAR 15. Others I run with over at EPI, like Matty Clark. I met him through EPI along with Brian Whitney, Robert Lawrence, and I believe that's it that I've known from there. But NASCAR 15 side is going to be Johnny Taylor, and Mark Sikochi with it looks like Brian Whitney, as everybody is starting to grid up here as they're going to get ready for this 70-lap feature. As I'm going to put up the grid here just to show you guys what the grid's going to look like. So you got Daniel Molnix starting P number 1, Stody Bedfield in the number 75 starting P number 2, Brandon Bass in the number 32 starting in P number 3, Shaden Wilden in P number 4, John Thompson rounding out your top 5, Patrick Gettner in P number 6, Kyle Hendricks in 7th, 8th is going to be Kyle Merkel in 8th, Justin Cope in 9th, Mark Sikochi rounding out your top 10. Dan Ross will be P number 11, Matty Clark in 12th. Roll this on down. In 13th is going to be Mark Thomas, a fellow Core driver that I know from Core. 14th will be Mark Cook. 15th will be William Martin. And then number 16th is going to be Jacob Givens. 17th will be Brian Whitney. 18th, Brian Wiggins. 19th will be Alexander Encarnacio. 20th will be Johnny Taylor. 21st will be Andy Reeves. 22nd will be Robert Lawrence. 23rd will be James Marcotte. 24th is going to be Craig Hawkins. That's going to be your 24 drivers here tonight, as they're going to do a grueling 70 laps here at Daytona International Speedway. We're going to go ahead and bring up this track map for everybody so you guys can see exactly what I see throughout this race. I'm going to go ahead and go through these beautiful paint schemes that these drivers have thrown on these cars here tonight, as my camera did not get set completely, as we're not going to be able to see the cars, but you can see them from a distance as they're going to go down the back straight right now. A couple of guys electing to start from pit lane. So that's definitely going to be something that you'll want to see, as it looks like Daniel Molnix, he's going to lead the field to the green flag with Stoney Benfield of that number 75 to his outside. And already the top three looking pretty stout out here tonight. Want to give a big shout out to everybody out there that follows up with the CRN, as pace car is going to go down into pit lane. And Barney already has the green flag in his hand. I believe they can't go until the restart zone. The two of Daniel Molnix going to lead these guys to the green flag. He's going to get clear of Stoney Benfield on that outside. Get him clear to the inside as a 32 of Brandon Bass. Looking to the inside, going to bounce it to the outside, possibly to look for help with the number 75. He's going to just single file it out all the way down into turn number 1 and 2 as we get another good camera angle there of the digger cam, as the 43 of Shane Wilden rolling it out on the outside with the number 45 behind him. So you got a two-car tandem on that outside. Everybody in the inside is the 09 of Kyle Merkel. He's trying to make that outside lane work. Working as of right now, and Shane Wilden wheeling that number 43 machine all the way up to the front. Big moves back here. The back is Matty Clark, has the number 88 of Mark Cook all over his back bumper, trying to make his way up to the front, as Matty D, he's going to drop down to the inside of the inside lane, as he's got the number 6 of Willie Martin giving him a little bit of a push. And these Gen 4 cars, you can't really push the pusher in these cars. They're just like the ARCA cars, as the 4 car, he's a little bit off pace there. Not sure what happened to him, as he's going to drop back. The 24 of Andy Reeves, he's going to look to make his way up through the field using that high line 2 as advantage. Still too wide. You see there the 48 machine of Dan Ross. He got a little bit loose coming off the corner, or pushed a little tight coming off the corner. Almost got into the side of the number 12 of Mark Thomas, as you got the Andy Reeves running the fastest lap of the race. That's going to be a 45.817. So Andy Reeves has a hot rod underneath of him, as Mark Sikochi and that number 8 Budweiser machine going to try to get up to the back bumper of Mark. Not going to be able to get there. And John Thompson going to take that number 1 Steve Park machine towards the back. Doesn't want to be in that fiasco. Another 20-lap run before these gentlemen have to call the segment, and they'll start going from there. Still 2 by 2 all the way through the pack. You see them giving each other room. They can't bump. They can't really, I mean, you can bump draft a little bit, but when is enough? These are just like the ARCA cars. These have a little bit more horsepower than the ARCA cars, so a little bit more horsepower. Still, the front end goes down into the ground, and you know, you get up right behind somebody and lift up that rear bumper, you're going to send them around. As Mark Thomas following that number 33 machine on the outside, able to hold ground. Kyle Hendricks and that Skull Bandit making that outside lane work as of right now. Still 2 by 2 all the way throughout this pack, as the 31 of Matty D trying to find his ground. Robert Lawrence, the number 07 machine. Clint Boyer following Brian Whitney, and then number 29 Kevin Harvick throwback. And they're just taking their time, making it worth their while, as Johnny Taylor back here, that number 3 machine, working with the number 5 and the 28 as of right now. Not running a scheme here, as he's going to round out our... he's going to be in 22nd position. Him, the 5 of Brian Wiggins, and the 28 of Cope. Justin Cope is going to be back here just riding, making everything go by smooth. Back up here to the front, Shane Wilden On the outside, battle for P number 4. It looks like Stony Benfield is going to have the advantage here as that top side is starting to dwindle down to absolutely nothing. As everybody still trying to get it put back together. Shane having a great run on that outside, not able to get clear of the 75. And look at the draft for the number 33. As he's going to get right up on the back bumper of that number 75. Not going to give him a big of a push, as there's still 2x2 all the way through this track. And just watching these guys practice, I could tell it's super bumpy. I can only imagine what these drivers are going through as of right now. We're going to go ahead and jump on board with Mark Sakochi, as we're going to ride on board in this number 8 machine. And just show you guys exactly what he is feeling all the way around this track. And you just see how bumpy this track is, as he's really working that wheel all the way around those corners. Mark Sakochi currently sitting at P number 11. He is completely fine just riding as of right now, but nobody wanting to press the issue with anybody, just wants to get the feel for everybody around them, as Mark Sakochi still P number 11. Nobody on his outside as the 24. He's going to get that massive run, going to have to check up, nowhere to go with it. And they are 8 laps in out of 70. Want to give a big shout out to everybody that liked, shared, subscribed to CRN. Without you guys, nothing of this would be possible as we embark on our next journey of 500 subscribers. So make sure you guys hit that like button, subscribe, turn on the bell notification so you guys don't miss a single beat of CRN. As Mark Thomas going to be looking to be put 3 wide up here in the middle. Goes to number 12 machine as the 88 backed out of it. Mark Cook going to follow right behind the number 12. The 12 is going to dive down to the inside. That's going to give the 88 the room to move up. The 43 of Shane Wheeldon trying to make it stick up on that outside, but as of right now, I think the run's got to be down on the inside. I think I'd want to sit there and just run some pace laps, get into a rhythm, because this is going to be a long, grueling race. Everybody's arms are going to be a little bit tired with it being the older Daytona is super bumpy. So that's going to be something to note as these tires get a little bit more worn. You're definitely going to see these drivers go through a little bit of a tight or a loose phase, as these drivers could get loose coming out of the corners. But so far, it looks like the number 43 has since then went down to the inside, able to make it happen, and has lost a couple of spots in the process. But as of right now, it is that number 32 of Brandon Bass out to the early lead. He was able to get around Daniel Mulnix for the lead, and the top 3 are single file, as the 2's going to bounce to the outside, had a good run. Who's going to get this lap led is going to be the number 2 of Daniel Mulnix, coming to lap number 11, as Mark Cook has ran the fastest time of the night with a 45.193. You can tell right now, looking through the pack, everybody's getting a little bit tight going into turn number 1 and 2. You can see him just kind of going up the track just a little bit and having to get off the throttle just ever so slightly. As you see here, everybody's kind of keeping it side by side, looking at it now, coming up off of turn number 4. And, you know, it's beautiful music to my ears as everybody is keeping it clean and green. Daniel Mulnix still your race leader in that number 2 Rusty Wallace throwback. And that's one thing I do like about tonight. On a Saturday nights, it's all going to be the 2001 to 2002, 2003 era of cars. that you're going to see these paint schemes running with. So you're going to have your Ricky Cravens, you're going to have your Jeff Burtons, you're going to have your Ryan Newmans, your early Jeff Gordons. It's all going to be a nostalgic racing experience. So if you weren't around back in the day, you get to see what these drivers used to drive on throughout this race. As we're coming up on the first segment here, and still 2x2, nobody really pushing the issue, as everybody is still single file. So far, our biggest mover of the race is going to be Andy Reeves in that number 24, up 14 positions from where he has started. So Andy Reeves making it work to his advantage. Our biggest loser is going to be John Thompson in that number 1 machine. He's going to be down 16 positions, but it is early. Don't really have to worry about that, as still up front, they're still too wide. The 09 get a little bit loose, almost gets into the back of the number 32. They keep it straight. Lap number 14 under the books. While these drivers are going in and through turn number 1 and 2, want to say thank you to Dubby for the new partnership for CRN and Kelly Poiter for coming on board for CRN for a couple of series that CRN does broadcast. Can't thank you enough for the partnerships from those two. Big week scheduled ahead for CRN, and make sure you guys tune in tomorrow night, as I will be back in the booth for CRN for the Core Premier Series, as they have one more race for their playoffs. One more race in the regular season before the playoff starts, excuse me. Don't want to miss that action, as I will bring you the action tomorrow night at, I can't remember where they are, but I know it's going to be a fun car track combo. Monday night, I don't think there is anything on Monday night as of right now. Tuesday night, it's going to be the UCRL Retro or Top Gun Cup Series, as they venture off in their week of racing, as they do an off week in between, as they take their 87s to their new home. No broadcast on Wednesday as of just yet. Thursday, the 87s for Core has finished up, so no more Core Vintage on Thursday nights. Friday, no broadcast as well, but we're going to be right back here on Saturday with the National Sim Racing Retro Cup Series, as they have 2 twin 125s next Saturday. That's going to be something that you don't want to miss, so tune in here to CRN, as myself and hopefully Ricky Gonzalez will bring you the live coverage. Now they're getting up to lap traffic, going to be a little bit tight, as Brian Wigg is going to keep it down on the inside. Everybody going to be able to get around that number 5 machine. Got a little bit hairy there in the beginning, as we're looking now. Daniel Molnick still your race leader, and they're still 2x2, as Matty Clark has made his way to the top 10. Mark Sikochi back here riding around in P number 13, excuse me, as he's found his way back down to the bottom end of the track. Just wants to get through this first stage and kind of call it good. You know, you got 20 laps underneath your belt with the drivers of the NSR Cup Series, and now it's going to be sort of game time here, as everybody is kind of settling in. 70 laps, I'm going to say about, I don't know, possibly lap 60, 65-ish, you're going to start seeing everybody start making those 3 wide moves. But still up top is still going to be Brandon Bass and Daniel Molnick up here to the front, as the 09 of Kyle Merkel, he's trying to help push that number 32 to the advantage, as the 2 machine has the 88 of Mark Cook on his rear bumper with the number 33, and then Stoney Benfield kind of keeping the distance between the 2 front runners, just in case something does decide to happen. So far, it looks like the 32 lost a little bit of the lead there. The 2 is going to stay up top, though. Doesn't want to be left out to dry, as we got 2 more laps until the end of the first segment. Still side by side through the whole field, and you love to see it, as everybody's being nice and patient. You don't really get to see a lot of this going throughout, Daytona races, I should say. But so far, everybody doing a great job keeping it under wraps. Looking here now as Matty Clark moved his number 31 down to the inside of Mark Thomas. He's going to be right up behind the number 75 of Stoney Benfield. You see just how much of a gap he's trying to keep between him and the car in front of him. You don't want to lift those rear tires up and send the guy in front of you to the moon. As Matty Clark using a little bit of trail brake there going down the front stretch just to keep that little bit of pocket of air in between. This will be the final lap of the stage. Probably going to call the caution here for the end of the segment. The 2 is going to have the run, but the 32 down on the inside, he's going to have a bigger run, and it's going to be side by side, but it looks like it's going to be Brandon Bass. He's going to get the first segment winner of the evening here tonight. Wow, that was completely close there, as Brandon Bass able to get around the number 2 of Daniel Molnix. And that's going to wrap up segment number 1. Going to give the chance to get everybody into pit lane before we bring in our first in-race reporter. So that way we don't mess up their pitting strategy here. But it's definitely going to be a good one to watch here, as a lot of side-by-side battles. Nobody trying to side draft. Nobody trying to go anywhere where they're not supposed to go, as everybody has caught the pace car now. As we're going to look on the board with the number 2 machine and look to the rear. And you see everybody giving enough room, but still trying to catch that pace car. "20 laps down, 50 laps to go," as actually we're 48 laps to go, as we're on lap number 22 out of 70. As we look there, it looks like the 6 has a little bit of right front damage. Not sure what happened to him. Gonna go down into the pit lane, get a little bit of time to get that car damaged, as the 5 almost rear-ended the number 6 there. As everybody's going to make their way into pit lane, and while they do that and get in there and get their pit stops done, I think it'll be time to talk to our our segment winner, the number 32 of Brandon Bass. Wait till he gets into pit lane and comes back out. But hopefully everybody is enjoying their day today. Hopefully everybody in the Midwest that had all of those storms last night were safe and always made it out alive. We got hit pretty bad up here in northern Indiana. A little bit of hail, super high winds, and that was not fun, to be honest. As we're looking here, going to find Mr. Brandon Bass. Not finding him just yet. There he is. Brandon, this is Dylan in the CRN broadcast booth. You got a copy?
Yes, sir. Got you loud and clear.
All right, Brandon, kind of walk us through that first little bit of a segment there. You were side by side with the number 2 of Daniel Molnix, did you think you had enough to get around him right there in the last part of that front stretch?
Man, on lap 20, they got that big run down the back stretch. I just knew he was going to drop down in front of me through 3 and 4. And once I seen he was staying high, I was able to keep them guys kind of pushed up higher going into the corner, and I was able to use that downhill run through 3 and 4 to get that run off. And Kyle, he was behind me pushing, keeping me up ahead of him coming to the line. So big shout out to my teammates behind me and the 2 and those guys up top giving us room and everything too. So it's pretty exciting racing with them guys.
Yeah, so I don't think fuel is going to come into factor here tonight, as I believe the next segment will end on lap 50. But kind of give us a little bit of what the tires felt like after that first 20-lap run.
They're pretty good on my end. Tire wear was pretty even. I think we had 92 on the right front. Yeah, 92, 97 on the rights. And I probably could have stayed out right here, really, the way the tires were. I just wanted to get some information by coming in and changing all 4 and seeing where we stood. But car handling really good, though. Shout out to Cody Porter for putting these setups together and driving good.
All right, buddy. Well, the pace lights are off on that pace car, so we're going to go ahead and put you back with your respected group, and hopefully we'll be talking to you again here after this race.
I appreciate you guys in the booth.
And you are which team?
Butch Sports. Tony.
That was our race segment winner of Brandon Bass, as he is going to start on the outside for this restart, as it looks like Kyle Hendricks, he's going to lead these guys back to the green. Barney's going to have the control of the field here, as the pace car is going to go down pit lane. Barney already has the green flag in his hand, and they are going to wait, and they are back to green flag racing. You see there, everybody getting strung out. Not sure what happened to the back half of the field, but so far it looks like the 33, he's going to be down to the inside. The 32 is going to follow suit. The 12, the 48, the 28 all stuck on that outside. No help from the back. And it's a one-lane ticket down on the inside, as everybody is trying to fight for position. It looks like the 32 got underneath the 33. He's going to move him up the track, move the 33 back to second place, probably even losing a little bit more track position here, as the 32 back out front where he left off. Back here towards the back, Mark Sakochi getting around the number 24 of Andy Reeves Jr. Looking to make it a 8-car show here. Andy Reeves still up 14 positions from where he has started, having a good run with the NSR Retro Cup Series. Justin Cope at the number 28 machine, Haviline, still running back here, just dropped 1 position, but it's going to be James Marcotte. He's running side by side with the number 6 machine, as they're still kind of not all up on each other, but they're giving enough room just in case that they do get that big draft. As we're looking here at Craig Hawkins and that Kodak Max number 4 leading the way of the RCR cars. The 31, the 07, the 29, and the 3, as Matty Clark trying to find a good way around the number 4 machine. The 4 is going to drift up. That's going to allow Matty Clark to get down to the inside. Going to be side by side coming off turn number 2. Quite possibly, as we're going to jump on board with Matty Clark here and give you guys a good, nice little perspective here of what they... Oh, none of my cameras saved. As looking on a board, you can see just how much Matty Clark is using that wheel into the corners, as the older Daytona is a bit more bumpier than normal. Looking up here, Jacob Givens up into the wall there. Not able to get it off the wall as of right now, but up front, Mark Thomas still on that outside, pushing the 33 to the front. Mark Thomas in the 33. We're clear just for a quick second. Not going to be clear here as Brandon Bass said, no, you don't. I have something for you. Looking at now, you can see that beautiful camera angle there. That he's got the 12 on his outside, and it's going to be a little bit harder to keep the car underneath of you, as the 32 is going to power back on the outside in almost clear coming through turn number 1 and 2. Not going to be clear just yet. He's got the 09 all over his back bumper, keeping him honest. Doesn't want to push a little bit too hard and spin him right in front of the whole field. But still side-by-side racing all the way throughout this pack. While these gentlemen are still green flag racing, I think right now would be the perfect time to mute the mics, turn up the car sounds, and give you guys a little bit of a taste of how the cars used to sound in this era. And we'll be right back. As we are back here, it looked like the number 43 had a little bit of pit road championship implications. Going to go ahead and go back to a CRN replay here. See exactly what happened to the number 43 as he's going to pull it off the track and just come to a stop, as he did not wreck there, as he just pulled it into pit lane. But as we seen there, we had a couple of takers go into pit lane. It's going to be all the RCR cars, as Robert Lawrence, Brian Whitney, Matty Clark, and Johnny Taylor all electing to go down to pit lane. You see him here right in front of our race leaders, as now they have to try and run away from this front pack. These four doing what they can, as it looks like Johnny Taylor is going to lead these guys all the way around the track, and they're going to try to make their way all the way back around here. But moving on back to the front, it is Kyle Hendricks, the number 33 machine, leading the top row, as the 12 of Mark Thomas on the outside going to follow him with John Thompson rounding out your top three. Looking at it now, that 6 almost getting into the wall. They're able to keep it straight, as earlier while we were in the You Love to Hear It, the 6 was getting into the wall just a little bit. John Thompson in the number 6 of William Martin looking to the inside of the race lead. John Thompson gets a little bit loose, almost slides up into the number 33, able to keep it clean and off of the race leader, as they're going to lose a little bit of time to the race leader here. Got to eye up this run yet again, as it looked like the number 28 machine of Justin Cope got into the wall just a little bit, had to check up his momentum, as everybody is trying to find out which lane to go with. Oh, Mark Thomas gets spun down to the inside. We're going to see what happened to Mark Thomas here, as SDK picked it up. Going to have to go back to a CRN replay just to see exactly what happened to the number 12 here, as the 32 gets up right behind him. Mark, oh, into the wall he goes. Just getting a little bit loose. Going to keep it off the wall, though. Good driving by the number 12. Came right back up onto the track. Thankfully, there was a clean track all the way around. But that number 12 machine going to drop all the way back to P number 18. Still up here at the front, though, the 18 of, I believe that is James Marcotti. He's going to lead that number 18 machine out there on the outside, right behind segment 1 winner Brandon Bass, as it looks like the number 2 of Daniel Molnix battling his way back up here for the final. If there's a driver out there that you guys are looking forward to and want to see more of, just let me know down there in the comment section. I do check it every once in a while, as everybody is keeping it green. As Daniel Molnick's going to have a beautiful run with Mark Sakochi down to the inside, going to get to the 32. 32 is going to block that run. He's going to drop down to the inside. We made see 3 wide to the race lead, as the 32 backed out of it, going through the tri-oval here. And that 32 is back on a mission. 88 get a little bit too upset here, as he almost went up the track, opened up that door for the number 32, as he's trying to make his way back up to the front. Says, all right, I don't want to be stuck in the draft anymore. Let me get back up here. Looking down the backstretch here, you're going to see everybody go side by side through the cameras, as the 6 of William Martin up to P number 3, and that number 6 of William running that Mark Martin throwback scheme here. as he's going to be side by side with John Thompson going through the tri-oval. And John Thompson looking to keep it with the number 33 to keep himself in contention for that second segment win, as the 88 trying to make his move, pushing the number 6 machine to the front. New race leader down the backstretch. That's number 6 of William Martin. While these, 88 gets a little bit high. 32 realized it, checked up ever so slightly to not get to the back of the 88. Give the lead to the number 6. Does he have enough to get a lap led? 33 is going to bounce on around him to give the lap led to the number 33 of Kyle Hendricks. Kyle Hendricks has been dominating that high side all race long, but while these guys can't get formed up and want to go back and forth on passing, that's allowing the 3, the 07, the 29, and the 31 to kind of pull away from this lead pack and slowly start to drag them on down. The 24 thought about keeping it down to the inside, moved up, going to get that draft, going to put his car right in the middle as he's going to try to keep it in this lead pack. Anything can happen. 7 laps to go in this second segment, as everybody is still finding their way around here. The one of John Thompson's going to slide up just a little bit than he wanted to there. Going to have a good run. Going to look to make it 3 wide. Thought better of it. Going to slide it back into rotation there. As the 88 looking down the inside. 32 looking on the inside of him. 32 realized it, checked up just a little bit, gave enough room for the number 88 to get back down to the inside. The 1 getting a little bit loose coming out of the corner. Give this lap to the number 33 of Kyle Hendricks. Kyle Hendricks try to do what he possibly can to keep that race lead. And so far, looking good, as the number 6 machine is going to have the advantage coming out of turn number 2, but that run on the outside is in favor of that number 33. See everybody here just kind of riding, taking their time. No fast repairs in this league, as everybody is going to drive a little bit cautious than what they could be driving, as John Thompson takes over P number 2. I wonder if that strategy by all the RCR cars of Johnny Taylor, Matty Clark. Oh, the 18 into the wall, going to keep it up on the outside. Nobody's going to get collected, but 3 wide. Into the wall again, right? Oh, we got a spin. Stoney Benfield, the 20, the 09. And that might cause the first caution. No caution called out here on the track. As, wow, that could have very easily should have been a caution here. I'm going to go ahead and take a look at the number 18. He's going to come off the wall. Stoney Bedfield, he's going to get a little bit, he's going to be a little nervous. He's going to go down, collect the 20, collect the 18 yet again, come back down, collect the 09. The 8 of Mark Sakochi is going to be able to get around it. The 28 is going to be able to get around it. And just a lot of torn up race cars here, as I don't believe a caution still has come out. I'm going to go ahead and go back to the live action here. And a caution did come out here, as there's a lot of torn up race cars. 4 laps to go in the second segment here, as everybody is going to try to make their way into pit lane, possibly take some fuel, some new tires, get the damage fixed of whatever kind of damage they do have, and just hope for the best. The 18 of James Marcotti getting up into the wall, coming off turn number 2, started that whole debacle. Stoney Bedfield just tried to take evasive action, just got into the right rear of that number 20 machine. 20 had nowhere to go. The 18 almost getting into the back of the number 28 there, as everybody is down a pit lane this time by. Get this camera. So under caution yet again for these drivers, as almost everybody went down a pit lane. That's going to give the race lead to the number 33 of Kyle Hendricks, as there's only 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 people elected to stay out. Everybody else went down a pit lane, as there's 24 drivers to start tonight's race, and all 24 drivers are going to finish tonight's race. As this may be the end of the segment, not 100% sure, as it's been great racing thus far, all the way in and through the field. Gonna go ahead and take a look and see if pace lights are off. They are indeed. So 2 by 2 for a 2-lap shootout for the segment win. Can Mark Cook get around the number 33 here? Or is the 33 a sitting duck? Or does he have friends back through the field? See there, everybody coming down a pit lane, servicing their cars to get back up here and see if they can't just make something happen. So far, everybody keeping it somewhat tamed. Had one initial caution, and I think the one that it helped out the most would be the number 12 of Mark Thomas. Mark Thomas got involved in that early incident there, as right now they're going to get ready to go back green. The 33 has control of the start. Barney has the green flag. Everybody's pacing up to the lights. The 33 is off to the races. The 88 didn't get a good enough jump on that restart. Going to leave the 33 out to himself. And that's just something that you don't really want to have happen to you. The 33 going to try to play both lanes here. But with that run coming on that outside or the inside, that 33 could be a sitting duck of Kyle Hendricks. There he goes up to the top to block the run from John Thompson. What does John Thompson do? John is going to sit behind the number 33. Going to allow him. They're all scattering down the backstretch, going from the top back down to the bottom, as Kyle Hendricks able to maintain the lead up there on the outside. Here comes the inside. The number 88 is going to have the run down to the inside. He's not going to be able to get there just yet, but he's got a fender on him. 32 get a little bit squirrely. Everybody's got to check up just a little bit behind the number 32, and they keep it green. Last lap for the segment, and it's going to be a good one. Can the 88 get the run down the inside into turn number 1 and 2? He's going to be there, but that 24, a little bit of damage on that right rear. He's going to be side by side going into turn number 3 and 4. John Thompson to the wall, able to keep it straight. Everybody give it a little bit of room. But so far, it is the 88 down to the inside, not going to have the run. He's got the momentum going into the corner, but with John Thompson all over the back bumper, the number 33, that's helping the 33 pull out to the early advantage. So Kyle Hendricks coming off turn number 4, he's going to get the second segment winner of the race night here, as they're going to keep it green. So segment was already finished. As they weren't going to throw the caution there, as they are still clean and green. All the RCR cars are lined up, and John Thompson wants to get out to the front, wants to lead some laps here. Oh, big checkup down on that inside of the 45, letting the 24 in. You see it there, almost getting uplifted towards the back. James Morcotti still on that outside trying to make it work, but back here, Brian Whitney, that number 29, leading the RCR charge. Right behind that number 44, Bugles machine, with Mark Thomas to his outside. Brian Whitney, another EPI driver. The 18, hard in the wall. The 5 almost gets involved. Brian Wiggins has a little bit of front end damage to that number 5 machine. He's going to take the outside, the 48, the 12, the 20, the 6, all sitting behind him. 52 laps out of 70 are complete. The 45 is going to get a little bit loose. Almost gets a shot from that number 44. He had to check up something fierce just to not hit him. So Alexander Encarnacio in that number 44, trying to get around his fellow teammate of Patrick Gentner. But still side by side, 3 rows deep. Up here, the 45 to the 44 are going to go up to the outside. Mark Sikochi wants to stay down on that inside with his 2 teammates, or with his 1 teammate of John Thompson. Looking back here, you got the RCR train yet again. All 4 cars, the 7, the 07, the 3, the 31, and the 29, all single file, all lined up. Go to see what they have to run with, as there's a couple of different manufacturers, different teams scattered throughout this pack. Again, I want to say thank you to everybody who has liked, shared, subscribed to CRN. Without you guys, we wouldn't be where we are today. As it sits right now, I want to say thanks to all the 415 subscribers that CRN has gained in just over a year, onto our next goal of 500 subscribers by the end of this year. Without you guys, we wouldn't be where we are. I want to give a big shout out to NSR and Mark Sikochi on letting CRN broadcast these races for them for the whole entire Cup season. Make sure you guys like, share, subscribe, turn on the bell notifications so you guys don't miss a beat on a CRN. Brian Whitney still down on the inside, so you got all 3 RCR cars, all 4 RCR cars in a line. The 45, going to get up out of line, going to let the 44 go by. So the 45 of, what's his name? Patrick Gentner letting him on a bye. And here we go. 3 wide racing. 28-44 into the wall. Everybody's going to evade. And they keep it great. Oh, the 45 is going to get turned. The 07 is going to turn somebody. That's going to bring out a caution, as that was the big one. As we're going to have to debunk this all the way from the beginning of it. We'll go ahead and ride along with the number 28 here, Justin Cope. Go on ahead and rewind it ever so slightly, as the 45 stuck it 3 wide. 28 got a little bit loose coming off the corner. That's going to send everybody into the wall. Up here, the 28 and the 44 still into the wall. And then back here, the 24 just gets with the number 45 and sends him around. Robert Lawrence getting caught up in that, and he's got a little bit of damage, but everybody else kind of survived the late race hits. Jacob Givens getting spun here. Going to go ahead and see what happened to him. He's got a little bit of front. Oh, Mark Thomas checking up, gets hit by William. Luckily, nobody behind the number 20 machine. He's able to keep it clear. And that's going to bring out our next caution, as that's something that you don't really want to see, especially in the Gen 4 cars, because it can get real nasty real quick. Coming up to 12 laps to go, and it's been a rough one for a couple of these drivers, just trying to learn the track all over again, as not a lot of people come to Daytona anymore, especially this Daytona. Sometimes it's the newer Daytona that's the preferred one, but with the National Sim Racing Retro Cup Series, they're going to do all the legacy tracks before they do the newer tracks. So that's going to be something good to watch here. Can't wait till they go to Rockingham or North Wilkesboro or anything like that. I think they have North Wilkesboro on their schedule. I'm going to have to double check. But while we have a chance, want to go ahead and give a big shout out to everybody out there in the chat. Casey Lore saying, "Let's go Whitney High Tech Racing," asking where Lyle Mitchell is. He is the race control. Kip Cook saying, "Go number 75," looking for Stoney Benfield, as he is back there in P number 12. I want to say thanks to all and everybody commenting on the streams, rooting on for your favorite driver here tonight, as they're coming up on 12 laps to go. And possibly once they take the green flag, it's going to be 10 laps to go. So 10 lap dash for the cash. And I think it's only fair that once they go green for those first 5 laps, we go side by side and we do another "You Love to Hear It." Believe everybody getting ready to go side by side yet again. Kyle Hendricks still has the race lead, as he's going to lead these gentlemen back to the green flag. Kyle going to excuse me. Kyle's going to elect to take the inside, has the number 1 of John Thompson on his rear bumper, as you see there. Nope, John Thompson gonna bounce it to the outside of there, as he was P number 2. So getting a good look at that number 1 machine moving up to the outside, everybody down the back stretch, and trying to see what they can do. What's going to be the strategy? Do you want to go early? Do you want to go right on? Or do you want to go on the green flag? If you're the late car, I wouldn't want to go early just because you're going to be a sitting duck towards the end. That's definitely, especially at a plate track like Daytona, you're going to be a sitting duck. So you're going to be definitely in that cat and bird seat. But coming off turn number 3 and 4, once again, you see him back there in the distance as the pace car is going to dip down pit road. Barney with the green flag. Kyle Hendricks, John Thompson on the outside for your front row. Kyle Hendricks going to get off to a great start here. Going to leave the competition. Oh, big wreck towards the back. Mark Sakochi. And it looked like the 44 getting involved there. Going to go ahead and go back to a CRN replay. See exactly what happened. Go ahead and get a little bit of a replay here. Think maybe Mark Sakochi missed a shift here. As you see there, the 44 gets a better launch, and that's exactly what I was talking about. You get up underneath there, and it's going to send you around. Luckily, Mark Sakochi locked him down here. Same with the number 44, able to lock him down, didn't hit the inside wall, but a little bit of damage for the number 44. And the 8, oh, barely nosing it into the wall, but you see there, not a lot of damage on that number 8 machine as we go back to the live scene here. And just like that, the 32 was able to get back up to P number 2. Want to say thank you to Harrington Ma 11 for the comment for rooting on Kyle Hendricks. Samantha Amber saying, here we go, Whitney EPI. So we got a couple of Brian Whitney fans out here as he is currently running P number 5. Kyle Hendricks still out front in that number 33 Skull Bandit machine. Once again, thank you all for your continued support to CRN. Make sure you guys hit that thumbs up button. Leave a comment. Let me know who you guys want to see out there on track as we're riding on board with Brian Whitney as of right now. And that number 29 Goodwrench RCR Chevy as he's going to take it down to P number 5. Want to thank Mark Sakochi and NSR for allowing CRN to do the broadcast here on your Saturday nights. As my name is Dylan McDonald, alongside is Ricky Gonzalez, as he is not here tonight. Hopefully he'll be back in the booth with me next week, but so far doing it all by myself this week, as it looks like pace lights are off. I'm going to go up here to Kyle Hendricks, give you guys a rundown these beautiful schemes. As Brendan Bass and that number 32 Super 8 Motel tied Downey. The number 1 of John Thompson and that Steve Park DEI number 1. Mark Cook and the number 88 Ford Credit number 88. Brian Whitney and that number 29 Goodwrench RCR scheme. Maddie Clark in that number 31 is Singular Jeff Burton scheme. Johnny Taylor in the traditional number 3. Justin Cope in the number 28 Haviland. Stoney Benfield in the number 75 Remington Call N811.org. Andy Reeves in the number 24 DuPont Nicorette Gum Pepsi machine. William Martin in the number 6 Ford Fusion. Dan Ross, and then number 48, Lowe's Jimmy Johnson throwback. James Morcody, and then number 18, Interstate Batteries. Craig Hawkins in the Kodak Max number 4. Mark Thomas in that Dodge number 12 Alltel. Robert Lawrence in the number 07 Jack Daniels Clint Boyer throwback with a little bit of the Cleater Skeeter hat on. Was giving him a bunch of stuff for that hat in practice. Jacob Givens in the number 20 the Home Depot machine. Kyle Merkel in that number 09 Mikowski. Patrick Gettner in the Brownie number 45. Alexander Encarnacio in the number 44 Bugles machine. Mark Sikochi in the number 8 Budweiser throwback to the All-Star race. The number 2 of Daniel Monix. The number 5 of Brian Wiggins. And rounding out your 724 car field is going to be Shane Wielden down in pit lane. Looking at it now, 7 laps to go to decide the race winner. The pace car is going to duck off this time by. What does Kyle Hendricks do? Does he go early again to get the grid restart here? Or does he wait again? As of right now, you get good enough restarts, you should be able to go. Kyle Hendricks, Brandon Bass on the outside row looking to take it back home. Green flag as Kyle Hendricks waited a little bit there. Got everybody side by side. All 3 RCR cars, Matty Clark, Brian Whitney, and Johnny Taylor, all side by side, not in a line. Robert Lawrence back there in the back as Matty Clark and Brian Whitney looking to make it a trio here. Johnny Taylor down on the inside, not going to let Matty Clark in this time as Brian Whitney looking to the outside. The 4 and the 09 get together. The 09 is going to be able to save it. We stay green. The 07 of Robert Lawrence looking to make it through the middle here. Looking at him now. Able to get around the... Oh, there's a big wreck towards the back. That's going to bring out another caution. As Mark Thomas just not able to get away from the... Oh, man. Just not able to get away from the wrecks here. Going to go ahead and rewind this just a little bit. And look at the number 12 machine as the 24 is already up into the wall. Comes back down right in front of his teammate of the number 48. The 5 is going to collect the 12 into the 48. And, just for company, 3 of the Hendricks cars all involved. 1 Penske machine and the number 12 of Mark Thomas. So they're going to go back to another... Oh, the 45 up and over. We're going to have to get a look at that as we're going to go ahead and do a little bit of another replay here. Just give me one quick second. I'm going to look at it full speed here. He's got nowhere to go. Going to take it down low. Mark Sikochi able to give... Oh, the 4. Oh, the 4. Gets into the back of the 45. That's got to be a blown motor for that number 45 machine of Patrick Gettner. But nonetheless, back up here to the live scene as everybody is trying to make it work here. There we go. As we're riding on board with Robert Lawrence and the number 07 machine able to get around the 24. Caution number 3 here tonight. As there's a lot of torn up race cars. You can see who kept their car clean and who has been involved in what. As they're still out there chugging on along. Again, make sure you guys tune in tomorrow night as I'll bring you coverage from CRN in the Core Premier Series as they have one more race till the playoffs, and that race is going to be the Pro 2 Lights at Sonoma. So that's going to be something fun to watch. So if you guys like the Pro 2s, if you guys like the dirt road stuff, make sure you guys tune in to CRN for that race here, as they're going to bring up the green flag. And one more race till the playoffs for Core Racing Premier Series. Definitely want to keep an eye on that throughout the week. Three laps to go to decide who wins the shootout here tonight. In the comment section, who do you guys got? Is it going to be the number 33 of Kyle Hendricks, the 32 of Brandon Bass, the number 1 of John Thompson? Could it be Mark Cook, Matty Clark, Brian Whitney, Stoney Bedfield, William Martin? Could it be Robert Lawrence? Who could it possibly be? It could be someone from the middle of the pack to get the race win here tonight. Going through turn 3 and 4 under the direction of the pace car. And there they are coming through turn number 3 and 4. The slowest you'll ever see these gentlemen go for the time being. Pace car is going to dip down into pit lane. Kyle Hendricks with the race start. He's going to go early again, but the 32 timed that start ever so perfectly, as Kyle Hendricks able to keep the race lead, but kind of give it over to Brandon Bass at the moment. But Kyle Hendricks down to the inside, going to battle his way back up to the front. Here comes Brian Whitney to the outside, right behind that number 88 machine, Johnny Taylor. Riding behind Brian Whitney right now. You got 2 RCR cars on the top, 1 down on the inside. Johnny Taylor looking to make it 3 wide. Johnny Taylor has not been a factor all race long. 3 wide through the middle. Johnny Taylor, he's having a little bit of connection issues there. Going to have to bounce off of him, as he is gone off the track. Not sure where he's going. The 88 and the 1 get together. 29 on Brian Whitney. Back up to the outside. Not able to be there, as the 88 going to look to the inside. The 33 and the 88 get stuck together. Able to keep it going. Oh, right in front of the field. Oh, that's going to be the big one. Oh, man. Going to go ahead and watch it from Robert Lawrence's chase cam here, as already you see there, just those 2 leaders got locked together. 88 able to get back up on the racetrack. The 33 not able to do so. Matty Clark nowhere to go. Robert Lawrence nowhere to go as well, as he's going to be collected. The 75 up into the air. The 44 gets collected. The 18, the 28, the 75. And that is a bunch of cars through this. Oh, the 24, the 5, the 09, the 12 again. Oh, the 33, the 45. They just keep piling on in. As that, the 07 is on the back deck lid of the 44. as Robert Lawrence finally gets off of him. And that's going to be the big one. Brandon Bass is your race leader. Brandon Bass, your race leader. Second is going to be Brian Whitney. Third is going to be William Martin. Fourth, John Thompson. Fifth is going to be Jacob Givens. Sixth will be James Marcotti. Seventh will be Mark Sikochi. Eighth will be Andy Reeves, as they're all going to go down pit lane. Give me one quick second. right, once again, we are back here. Sorry for that little bit of an interruption, but we are back to green flag racing. 73 laps out of 74, and it is the 32 down to the inside, making it work. As the 29 of Brian Whitney on the outside, a final lap this time by. Can the RCR car get to the outside, get around the number 20 or the 32? Looking to the outside, and now is the number 29. Can John Thompson push the 29 around him? It looks like the 32 is going to be clear. He's going to throw a little bit of a block. 29 goes into the wall. 3 wide for the race lead. The 6 down to the inside. This is going to be a photo finish if they can make it stick. So far, so good. The 29 has the advantage. The 29 up on the outside. The 32 and the 29 get together. It looks like it's going to be the 6. The 6 to the race lead. The Sakochi gets taken out. Everybody's spinning towards the end. William Martin's going to be a race winner. And John Thompson is going to take P number 2 with Matty Clark in P number 3. There's a lot to uncover on that final little bit of a stretch here. Gonna have to rewind this really quick because I don't even know where to start, as we're gonna go all the way back to the backstretch here. Be nice and cautious. Look at the number 29 of Brian Whitney, as he's going to have a full bird's eye view of this mess coming down to the wire. That right here, there's 3 wide, nice and easy. 32's giving them a lot of room. 29 right here has the advantage on that outside. Just not able to get there. Now the 32's on his inside. And now it's a 7 race horse. Everybody underneath the blanket going for the shootout win. 32 is going to slide up, touch the 29. 29 is going to push him back down. And then after that, we're going to ride on board with Matty Clark, as he had a full ride through this thing. As still 3 wide, the 32 slides up, tags the number 29 again. He's going to hit the wall a ton. 32 is going to come back down, collect the 8. The 8's going to come back up into the number 29. Matty Clark taking evasive maneuver down to the inside. The 2's going to get spun by the 20. They're all 5 of those drivers going to go up into the wall. Stoney Benfield's going to be able to get around this. Matty Clark taking evasive maneuvers. The 1 of John Thompson looking to the inside. The 6 going to push him down to the inside. But it's going to be the number 6 machine getting it done here tonight for the shootout win. He's going to spin around the line as, wow, man, that was wild. As I'm going to go ahead and slow this down, as it was a, oh man, that was something. We're going to go ahead and go down our race results here before we get our top 3 in the booth. Race results win is going to go to the number 6 of William Martin, as he's going to hold off the late charge of John Thompson to that number 1 machine. Second is going to be John Thompson. Third will be Matty Clark. 4th is going to be Jacob Givens. 5th is going to be Stoney Benfield. 6th, Brandon Bass. 7th, Dan Ross. 8th is going to be Justin Cope. 9th, Brian Whitney. 10th, Mark Thomas. 11th, Kyle Merkel. 12th, Mark Sakochi. 13th, Craig Hawkins. 14th, James Mercodi. 15th is going to be Kyle Hendricks. 16th is going to be Robert Lawrence. 17th, Andy Rivas. 18th is going to be Daniel Molnix. I'm going to go ahead and scroll down just a little bit more. 19th is going to be Patrick Gentner. 20th is going to be Alexander Encarnacio. 21st is going to be Mark Cook. 22nd, Johnny Taylor. 23rd is going to be Brian Wiggins. And rounding out your 24-car field is going to be Shane Wilden. That's going to do the late race caution. Going to go ahead and move on to our third place finisher here. That's going to be the number 31 of Matty Clark. And Matty, this is Dylan of the CRN broadcast booth. You got a copy?
Yeah, I do, Dylan.
All right, Matty. I've raced with you in officials. I've yet to see you run in a league race, but there in the beginning of this 70-lap race, you stayed in the back with your fellow teammates, and you found the late race pace. Kind of walk us through that final restart.
So, final restart. Let me go back and take a look at it. I'm sitting here watching a couple incidents that could have gone a different way. All right, so I'm involved in that wreck that probably should have been avoided. Kyle came back up onto the track. He probably could have kept it down there a little longer. Kind of wrecked the whole field doing it. Had caught a little bit of required damage. I'm down on that. I got a little bit of aero. I see Whitney up there. He's my teammate in the 29. He's outside pole, trying to work with the DEI guys here, try to get a line going. Going pretty good. Coming through the white flag, I got on the bottom. Felt like I get a push from the 20, and then they get 3 wide, some contact, and stuck with Mark till turn 4, and when some more stuff happened. I'm glad I got third. Could have been a lot different. I knew that there in the middle of that stage, we had a plan to come down, take what we needed, and go, and we were set.
Yeah, you talk about coming down early in that second stage or segment, whichever one you want to call it. And I seen all the RCR cars came down pit lane. You guys were able to get out in front of the race leaders and essentially pull away. Just a little 4-car breakaway against, 18, 20 cars. And you guys were able to form a line, get together, and just push each other all the way back around. Those last couple cautions coming out kind of played into your effect, got the field bunched back up, had a lot of close calls, a lot of near misses. And, with Kyle getting taken down to the inside by the number 88, it is a high bank track. He couldn't keep it down there. He could have if he needed to, but nonetheless, he came up right in front of you. You had nowhere to go. He collected a couple more of your teammates. Now, with this being just a shootout, no points involved, how does that going to affect the rest of this Daytona Speed Week for you? As next week you got the Twin 125s, and then the week after that you got the Daytona 500.
I think our plan for next week is going to be about the same. We're going to try to snag the front row in qualifying, and then try to snag third and fourth in the duels.
All right, Matty. Well, there you go. You have your momentum coming for you, finishing here P3 in the shootout. You got your strategy set for next week, but before I let you get on out of here and enjoy the rest of your night, is there anybody want to give a shout out to?
Just shout out to Mark for letting me come over here, run some races with these guys. Definitely Johnny for putting the set together. It's got some wicked pace. He'll be doing that most of the season. I think we've got some good tracks coming up we'll be real good at.
All right, Matty, we're going to go ahead and let you go and celebrate with the team, and we'll be talking to you hopefully again next week.
All right, see you.
All right, that's going to be our third place finisher of Matty Clark. Going to go ahead and move up to our second place finisher. That's going to be the number 1 of John Thompson. John, this is Dylan in the broadcast booth. You got a copy?
Yeah, I got you.
All right, John, you had an up and down race. You were towards the back, towards the front, towards the back, towards the front. You had your sights set on that race win here tonight. Kind of walk us through your whole race leading up to that final restart.
Oh, I just was trying to just kind of let laps go by, logging laps. Actually, the top lane was where I wanted to be, but I kind of got on the bottom there at the end, and that's not where I wanted to be, but we sure gave it a shot, that's for sure.
Yeah, you hit the nail right on the head. You gave it a shot. You were trying to put yourself right where you needed to be. Just just a mere 100 feet maybe off.
Yeah. Yeah, that's all you can ask for is just to put yourself in that position, at the end. You'd be able to be there to be able to make a move and have a chance at it,
Well, my next question, how is that going to affect your momentum going into next week's Twin 125s and then the following week with the Daytona 500?
Shoot, actually, I'm pretty stoked. Actually, the car's really good. Made a few more adjustments to it today, and it was pretty comfortable after I got some laps on it and the pressures came up. It seemed like I could kind of put it anywhere, preferably the top line was the momentum line, but it was a good car. I'm kind of optimistic now we're going to have a pretty good weekend, maybe. Pretty good week,
Yeah, you got a couple more times that you can go with the Daytona, then you get ready to go to a different style of tracks. I can't remember what the second race of the season is other than Daytona, but is there any tracks on the schedule that you're looking forward to, or are you just looking to just take it one race at a time?
I'm definitely to get away from the restrictor plates, you got a little more in your hands, There's a lot that plays into the restrictor plates that can happen to you, You can have the best intentions and still come out, at the end and not have a very good day. So just to get these behind us and get a good finish, I'm pretty stoked. But if I can get a win, I'm even happier.
Yeah, like I said, you were almost there till it wasn't there. But before we let you get on out of here, is there anybody you want to give a shout out to?
Yeah, the 33. We had fun, actually. That was a fun race. Me and him worked together a lot. And I pushed Kyle most of the race on the high side, or the last half of the race at least. But, yeah, just a good shout out to him. That was a good race until he had some misfortune there. And, everybody did a pretty good job. I was pretty happy with it. So we'll see you guys next week.
For sure. Well, buddy, we're going to go ahead and let you take the time to do so and celebrate that second place win, and hopefully we'll be talking to you again next week.
Right on. Thank you. Have a good one, Dylan.
You as well. Waiting for our race winner to join over here. But while we wait for that, how'd you guys think of the racing here tonight? As we've seen a lot of back and forth racing, as everybody was able to make it 2 wide, 3 wide, kind of hold their line, and still good racing all the way through, as everybody is still trying to find their grounds, running with everybody. And yeah, I mean, it does happen to the best of us, as we have the race winner in the broadcast booth. With us now is William Martin, that number 6 machine. William, this is Dylan in the booth. You got a copy?
Hey, you guys got me?
Yes, sir. I got you loud and proud. And William, I don't know about you, but I think I seen your car more into the wall than I seen it up towards the front.
Yeah, that would be a true fact. Had some trouble running the high line and got into the wall. Came in and took the time to get it repaired, and was up in the front with it. We even banged up, I think, and took the time on that one causing and got it fixed up and went back out, went back in the field.
Yeah, you kind of walk us through, was it a hard enough job trying to keep it off the wall, or was it harder to get it off the wall and not come down into the other drivers coming around you?
I think it was harder keeping it off the wall, being jam-packed up the rear of somebody. So you just got to change where you're looking. Instead of looking in front, you got to be looking around the corner, and I think that was my issue in the beginning. So I just had to relax and look further ahead than I was.
Yeah, you come out here, you get the shootout win. It wasn't for points necessarily, but next week you have the twin 125s, and then you have Daytona 500. So how does your win here tonight transpire to the next following weeks for Daytona Speed Weeks? And are we going to be able to see that number 6 machine repeat what he did here tonight, minus hitting the wall?
Yeah, definitely. Definitely, the plan is to stay out the wall. I'll probably bring the same setup. It was just an iRacing setup, tweaked just a little bit, and I'll be winning the 500 would be totally awesome. Obviously, there's a lot more laps, so anything can happen. I think I got a little lucky tonight and just put myself in the right spot. But I do believe the high line is going to be where it's at, and to keep that momentum going. So we'll try to run at it in the 500 coming up and see what happens.
All right, buddy. Well, before we let you get on out of here, does anybody want to give a special shout out to on that number 6 machine?
Just my wife for putting up with me and this stuff.
All right, buddy. Well, we're going to go ahead and let you get out of here, celebrate that race win here tonight, and hopefully we'll be talking to you again next week.
Awesome, sir. Thank you. I appreciate it. Have a good weekend.
You as well, buddy. All right, that's going to do it for our top 3 interviews here tonight, as it's been a pleasure bringing you the coverage here for the National Sim Racing and Retro Cup Series. Make sure you guys tune in tomorrow night as I bring you live coverage from Core Racing League Premier Series as they get ready to do battle on the Pro 2s at Sonoma Rallycross. 1 race left until the playoffs. You'll catch me in the booth along with a special guest as Daniel Paulus Jr. will be making his debut into the CRN broadcast booth Monday night. No broadcast this week as of yet, but Tuesday night you're going to see Carl and Jimmy back in the broadcast booth for the UCRL Top Gun Cup Series as they venture off with the 87s as they are on a week off, week on, week off, week on. So they race every other week. Wednesday, no broadcast as of right now, but April 12th coming in hot with the Shane's Super Late Models Showdown on Wednesday nights. You'll find myself in the broadcast booth for that. Thursday, no broadcasts at all going on through CRN. Friday, no broadcast as well. Saturday, you're going to be right back here with me and Ricky Gonzalez in the booth as we have 2 streams coming at you. 2 125-lap twin 125s here at Daytona. Then we're back Sunday night with the Core Premier Series. That's going to do it all for me here tonight. Make sure you guys like, share, subscribe, hit the little bell notification, hit the thumbs up, hit all notifications so you guys don't miss a single beat out of CRN. But this is going to be it for me. My name is Dylan McDonald up here in the CRN broadcast booth. Make sure you guys take care. Brush your hair.